Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
So we're going to do my positive birth story today.
Yes, positive.
Yeah, positive premature birth story. So we've got some notes
Yeah.
of how I remember it. Caitlin was there as well.
Yeah. Dive straight in.
Yeah. It was Sunday the 2nd of February 2020 and I was only 35 weeks pregnant. So it's the whole birthing experience for me starts on that Friday night.
Yeah.
So I'd finished work, I went to get my hair done, and I remember being sat in the chair and I could have literally fell asleep. I remember looking at myself when I was like swollen. Bearing in mind on the Monday I'd been throwing up all week. My sickness had started again.
Yeah,
So
it did actually. Yeah.
So I was throwing up on the Monday. I think every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I sat in on the hairdresser on the Friday night after work and I just was like exhausted. I remember her drying my hair and I was looking down and I could literally have fell asleep in the chair. So that night I came home to an empty house because my boyfriend had gone away to Scotland for a weekend. So after my haircut, I then came home and went to pick up the birthing pool because I was having a home birth.
Home birth.
Yeah, I went to get the birthing pool. I got all the bits. I got the inflatables. I'd been to
You'd been IKEA and got a sieve.
I got a sieve,
a shower curtain,
towels, flannels,
yeah,
all sorts. So I think I had an early night, and that was that. Saturday, Caitlin goes away.
Yes. So Saturday I went away because it was my friend's and my boyfriend's birthday. We went into Liverpool. We all hired out an apartment, and we were staying over. Normally, I am the party queen, right? But all night, I just had a bit of a feeling. I thought, what it says about twin telepathy? Is that the right word? Telepathy. But it is a bit of a myth, isn't it? But I do believe that in certain situations that we do have. In certain situations, I think we do get the feels or know something's going to happen. Anyway, so normally, yeah, like I said, I'm normally like party queen up till bloody early hours in the morning, drinking. But this night I just thought, no, I just knew something was going to happen. I did think, obviously, James isn't here anyway. And I just was always thinking, oh, what if something happens and Kristen's not got anyone? Like, I wasn't there. Was Mum somewhere? No, I don't think Mum was anywhere. But obviously, Bethany's in Leeds, James in Scotland. I was in Liverpool. And I was just like, oh. So anyway, I took myself to bed quite early that night. My friends kept trying to get me out of bed, but I was just like, no, I just want to go sleep. So anyway, I went to sleep, woke up quite early, went for breakfast, so I was all feeling all right. And I didn't go home with the first lot of people. I waited for the second lot of people, and Bethany was like texting Mum, and they were like speaking a bit weird, really. And I was like, what's going on here? And I just instantly like was sat in Costa and I was like, something's happened. I was like, Kristen's gone into labour. And Bethany just rang me in that moment. It was literally like, don't panic, but Kristen's waters are broke. So obviously I was like, right, I was with Snoop was like, right, let's get this playlist on, let's get some music going, get everyone hyped up, because he was like, Kristen's gonna give birth. And I was just like, obviously going through my battery went as well. Once I was texting Bethany, my battery went.
Really?
Yeah, I had no battery on my phone.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you thought you didn't drink because of that reason. I was meant to be going to Scotland as well. Like all the partners were meant to be going because it was his friend's birthday, and I was like, I'm just not going to go. I'm just going to chill. It was too much. That drive will be too much. I started being sick again. I was like, let's just no, I'm going to stay at home. And then I said to him when he went, I said, if something happens when you're away, like, oh, something's going to happen.
Is it because we had all these thoughts? Maybe like obviously we've started looking into law of attraction and manifestation a lot recently. Did we make that happen?
Because we kept saying
thinking it in our heads? We was visioning it.
I
did say to someone, I just knew. I know something's going to happen. So
I did. So on Sunday, I don't think I actually threw up this morning, but I was due to go to the shop with my friend. So I got up and I think it was about 10:15. I was like, yes, I'm on time. I pulled up outside hers, stepped out of the car and thought I'd weed myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's embarrassing, because I thought I'm going to have to go in there now, say in front of her and a boyfriend, can I go to the toilet? I think I've just weed. Carried on walking, and it kept on coming. And I was like, oh, that's not way. I was like, my waters have broke. So instead of going to knock on and get her, I rang her and I was like, come outside, and she did. And then she insists, I wanted to go home and just ride it out. I was like, let me just go home.
That was
like,
your plan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Kristen originally planned to have a home birth, so when your waters break, you didn't probably think, oh no, I'm early, oh no, this, it was, right, I need to get home then, because if this
I still didn't know what it was. I still kind of thought, right, I think it's my waters, but I think I'd probably weed myself, because obviously there's a lot of pressure down there at 35 weeks, you get towards your due date. I did kind of think I'd weed myself. So then she ended up saying, no, we need to go to the hospital, but I insisted that I drove because I needed my car. So she came in with me and I drove us to the hospital. And then because I'd planned a home birth, I didn't know where I was going in the hospital. I didn't got in, like, you obviously have to, you book in, don't you, usually, or someone takes you up or whatever. So we ended up just roaming around the bloody ward, and then ended up going back downstairs. I think my waters have just gone. What do I do? And she was like, well, where's your notes? And I remember being, where's your notes?
Why would you have your fucking notes?
Well, she said, where's your notes? You should, oh, no, at 36 weeks, you should have your notes on you all the time. So I was like, I'm 35 weeks. And she was like, oh. And that's what she was like, right, get in here, love, get in here.
Why would this be, how, like, thing is that? Because what's the word, patronising?
Because you're meant to know, aren't you? You're meant to know.
Well, are you? When you're
meant to carry your notes everywhere. And I said, I've not been at home. I was out, my waters have gone, 35 weeks. She's like, right, come through. Obviously, I would normally carry my notes. If I was at home and water's gone, I'd have been prepared. I'd have gone with everything, but I wasn't. Anyway, she was like, take your pants off, let's make sure it is your waters, because I still at this point was going, oh, I think it's still weed myself, I don't know what's happened. I was just clueless, and I literally just took my pants and my leggings and my pants off, and she was like, yeah, that's definitely your waters.
How would they, I suppose,
well,
like,
there's front and backs, and I think it can trickle or whatever, but I think the way that mine was
I suppose she would have seen it coming out.
Yeah.
And where it's
so
coming from. Yeah.
When waters break, they don't stop. They don't just like it's not like you
we thought that, didn't we? We didn't know that. I thought it was just one and then that's it.
She checked my waters and she's like, it's definitely your waters. We'll keep an eye on it. I think she gave me like a bloody puppy pad to put there, because they have to monitor it, don't they? And just in case the baby poos in you and all that.
Yeah, true. That's dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and then at this point, I think I was down in that room for about an hour. My friend had gone, mum had come, so I was with my mum. We'd rang James telling him what had happened, and he was trying to get home.
It was hungover, yeah, because it was the day after, wasn't
so it? It was the day after he'd gone out, so he was absolutely hanging.
He probably couldn't even take in what you've even said.
No, well, I didn't tell him because I think I got upset, so I think Mum and Becky told him.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because I was just like, oh, it's typical, this has happened and he's not here. We went up to not the labour ward, but kind of just
maternity
ward.
Which is actually a lot nicer than you imagine, I think.
Yeah.
When I turned up there, it's a hostel, isn't it? And I think that's initially why you didn't want to
be
have
there.
your baby there.
To be at the hospital.
But it's all right. It was nice. Yeah.
So I think this was probably about like 11:30ish, 12ish now. At this point, I remember getting like backache and thinking like, I know. I was like, oh, I don't know.
What, before I came, you started getting backache?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But at this point, I think a doctor had come. So they told me that a doctor was going to come around and speak to me and tell me what was happening, and they said that I would be in there. They were going to keep me monitored in there for 3 days. If nothing was to happen.
No, I was there when they said that.
Was you? Going to try and keep the baby in for 2 more weeks. I know.
When I heard that, I was like, her waters have gone.
Yeah. Going to give me steroids for like 3 days.
Yeah.
And I was just on that like the cuff of being able to have these steroids. If I was anything over, I think they would have just left me to it.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? So the steroids were for her lungs, is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Well, we didn't know she was a she at this point, did we? But
no.
They were for her lungs.
Yeah, it was just development. She'd not finished developing yet, and I think they were just. The doctor said the best thing is if she stays in there for an extra 2 weeks, and I was thinking, well, how? I knew I was getting this backache.
How?
Yeah, I knew I was getting backache. My waters had just gone. I think I remember sat there saying, right, if this is happening, then I think I'd rather just have a section. Just
really?
let me. Yeah, I said to Mum, I just want a section then.
they come to give you them. I know what it was as well. That nurse said, not gonna lie, the steroids do hurt, and I was thinking, I went faint. Never mind you, because that's when I went out the room because I was like, I can't stay in here when she gives you these.
I think I said, didn't I? Oh, I was like, oh, does it hurt?
Yeah, and she said,
She's like, thinking this big needle. I was thinking, ouch, it's gonna be really painful. I've got 3 more days or 2 more weeks of this. That's what she said.
Yeah, because it was going to be every day, wasn't it? That you was going to get this injection.
And it was every like 3 hours. I had like 3 lots of it, I think, before she actually came in the end. But remember, she ended up coming round to give it me. You had to go, didn't you? She put this bloody injection in me and it was fine.
Yeah.
And I was so on edge the whole time because she said she was going to have to do it, and it took like 2 hours to get back round to me.
And that's when I was looking at Kristen. I didn't say anything, but I was looking at her. She was getting all flustered. Her face was dead red. She wasn't speaking. Like when you get scared or like whatever, you go like, your lips go really tight, and you just sit there really quietly. Yeah, it's like, I thought, oh, she's going to be sick because she's in pain. Like it looked like she was holding in sick. I was like,
no, I wasn't in pain. I was just scared. And then that's when I kept saying, right, I think I'd rather just have a section. Just know when it's happening. I was so out of my positive space, and I was just like, this is not the plan. It wasn't what I had in mind at all, and I didn't understand what was happening or why it happened. So at this point as well, the doctor had said that I would not have got my home birth. There was no way I would have got my home birth.
Yeah, because I still thought, oh, that can go ahead, that can be fine. If she does stay in for another 2 weeks, then you can give birth at home. But they were like, well, no, because it's high risk. You're high risk now.
I was instantly classed as high risk, and I would have to have come into the hospital if she wasn't going to come naturally. So then that was me just like absolutely on a high the whole pregnancy. This happened, I was just like, I got to.
It went very quickly.
Yeah.
Like I turned up at like 12:01, and then we left. Did we leave at like? I think we left just before we met James on the way out. So he turned up at 6:30. 5ish, 5:30. He turned up and we left. But that time went so quick. Yeah. And you did start.
So I did start time because I was getting like regular pains, and I kept saying to you tonight, I think they're painful. I think it's contractions. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna get worse. I didn't want to complain and say they were bad because I thought, well, I could potentially have 2 more weeks of this. Yeah. And they're gonna get worse. And I just was so didn't know what was going on.
You did keep saying, oh no, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. And me and Mum were looking at each other. We didn't say anything because at one point you was like this with your eyes closed, doing that thing with your lips again. And me and Mum looked at each other and was like, she's in labour. I was like, but you was like, no, I don't think it is. No. And then you stood up and you was like rocking. I was like, oh Jesus. Yeah. I was like, just admit it to yourself. But then I suppose the way that you did do it was best for you in the end.
Yeah. So those few hours then before James got home, I remember doing my hypnobirthing techniques. So I was just breathing in and breathing out and breathing in. And that, literally, the power of just deep, good breathing. Like,
I do it now
because I think that I potentially was in a lot of pain, but all that good air that I was breathing in and out, I think I was literally like hypnotizing myself and just thinking. I mean, I knew I was in a bit of pain, but like I said, I was in denial that I was in labour. I was just like,
well, that's what hypnobirthing is anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
breathing. As long as you keep doing that and you're concentrating on that and not the pain.
Yeah. So it was that bit was absolutely fine, and then you two left, didn't you?
Yeah.
And met James on the way out, and
we said to James, we was like, she's definitely in labour, because I don't think he probably knew how serious it was either, did he?
He got told, and he absolutely shit himself when my waters had broke, and he was like, I need to get home now. And then when he was updated, so Mum updated him and said, right, so the doctors have said they're giving us steroids and it could be 2 more weeks. Then he just chilled out. He's like, right, nothing's happening. It was like, well, what's the hurry? And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wasn't as stressed. I mean, he was stressed, but he wasn't as worried then.
So he wouldn't be, I suppose.
No, because he was just like, it's because he was really panicking at first, but then he's like, it's not happening, because that's what he was told. That's what we were told by the doctor. So anyway, he got there at like 5, and me still being in denial.
Yeah.
It was getting worse. It was getting not worse. They were getting a lot more powerful, but I was doing a briefing and I wasn't really talking.
No, you wasn't supposed to be speaking. That's what was annoying.
Yeah, I wasn't speaking. What I found I was helpful having people with me in the room, and me just concentrating on me, but knowing that there's other people doing something there, and I was, because if I was left alone, I would have just lost my shit and wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that me and Mum were there, we were talking as normal, and that you were just...
It really helped.
Having an eye kept on you as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and
which
I think
you needed, clearly.
Well, I think that's what I had in mind about this home birth. I thought, surrounded by familiar faces, people like James will just be doing what he's doing, and then I can slowly just I'll just take myself into like a birthing situation, and like it would be nice at home and all that. I think I remember it getting more intense around tea time, because they came around and give me Sunday lunch. And
what was that like?
Well, it was nice, but I remember being sat down, and I was sat on the edge of the chair, and it took me about 2 hours to eat it, because I was on and off, and that's when I thought, oh, this is like, again, it wasn't letting on how much pain I was in, or even to myself wasn't letting on. I was just doing, I had my headphones in, I'd made a playlist, I had my headphones in, and I was just chomping away at this Sunday lunch. Something was happening, but in my head it was going to happen for a few more days, so I was kind of like slipping out of the positive mindset rather than staying in it. Was when we was watching Love Island, and that was at 9 o'clock, and I remember watching that, and the whole time I was stood up rubbing my back against the wall. And I remember it getting to a point where I was like, again, not wanting to let on to James what was happening, but I was nearly crying, because I was like, oh, it's getting intense now.
How did you not just break into tears?
I don't know.
If I'm in pain, someone needs to know about it.
Because I was still on the maternity ward. And I was still surrounded by other people on beds and stuff, so I couldn't have been loud.
Do that woman? So one woman, she got burping, didn't she?
Really loud, yeah. Throwing up, yeah. I didn't want to be like vocal and say how much pain. I mean, I'd not even told a midwife that I was in pain, so I'd not even been checked.
Yeah, that's what was scaring me, because I knew that you wouldn't tell the midwife when you was in pain, so I was thinking, what if something's really bad's going on and you're trying to be really positive, which is good, but you're not telling them how you're really feeling? That's what was scaring me, because I knew that what you like, and I thought something could be happening, and then no one will know.
Yeah, because after that, James said to me that he was going to go home, try and get some sleep, which fair dues, because he obviously was really hungover. And when he said that, I remember being like, no, don't go. And that's when I did cry. I was like, you can't leave me, because I think I knew something was happening, but I'd not said anything to him. So he was shocked. He was like, why are you upset? What's up? I'll stay. Like, what's wrong? And I was just like, don't go. Because I think if I had to then do that by myself, I think that I knew that in my head that I wasn't going to be able to stay positive, and I was going to lose it. And then the midwife came around and said that I could go and have a bath if I wanted to. So I was like, yes, like that sounded like heaven. I think I texted you, hadn't I? Like, I'm going to have a bath. And Mum told me now that as soon as she got that text saying that I was going to have a bath, she knew that was going to be me going straight into labour. That was going to kickstart everything. So about 10 o'clock-ish, 10:30ish, I went into the bath. And I think I only managed to stay in there for about half an hour. James has got the car mat, and we had that on, and he was massaging me, so I took all my makeup off. He was massaging me, and we had that on. And that's when they did, like, the contractions really did get like
so I thought people have baths to ease it.
Yeah,
but it actually brings it on.
I think it eases it when you're actually in labour, doesn't it? So I was still...
I don't know.
I think it's nice when they're coming out and you're in the water. But contraction wise, I was still obviously, I didn't know, but I was majorly dilating, like, and it was like rapidly as well. So this is all like within a few hours. I was like getting rapidly dilated, and I didn't know. So I remember saying to James, I'm gonna have to get out now. You're gonna have to leave because I need the toilet. I'm thinking I need a toilet. He's like, right, I'm going to go and find a toilet because I need one. He obviously needed a nervous poo. Me not knowing that it is Matilda that I need, not the toilet.
Yeah, head is crowning.
Yeah. So I didn't manage to go to the toilet, just got myself changed and gone back to the ward, and that's when James did go, and I was like, right, okay, you go try and get some sleep, I'm gonna as well. Luckily, he forgot his car keys.
See, everything is like meant to be like he was meant to leave his car keys there, wasn't he?
He meant to. So he left the car keys on the bed and was texting. So I put my headphones in and just tried to go to sleep because it was getting late. And he was texting me and I wasn't answering because obviously you need to buzz yourself into the wood, and he was asking me to go and do it. And then at this point I had my headphones in and I was tossing and turning, and I was in a lot of pain at this point. Yeah, I was.
On like, what was it compared to?
It was like, when I say a lot of pain, I don't suffer from any kind of bad periods, but for me, the pain I would compare it to a bad period pain.
Right.
I didn't have any extreme pain, and it wasn't not manageable. Everything was manageable. I don't know, I was breathing through them all. And it was only that point when I got left on my own and I lay down, and I didn't think that helped. I'd had a bath obviously and I'd lay down and I had my earphones in, and I remember being like, oh. And they weren't stopping and starting like they were throughout the day. It was a constant pain. And that's when James walked back in. Yeah, he walked back in and said, oh, I forgot my keys, and I couldn't even look at him. I was just like, he was like, what's up? And I think that's when he remembered you telling him, you need to go and get the help, she's not going to say anything. So he did. He went and got a midwife, who then went to get a doctor because she put me on a machine, and I really couldn't speak to her.
Oh, she put you on a machine?
Yeah, just to see if it was contractions. She said, are you getting tightenings? She was asking me, are the tightenings, are they bad? Are they stopping? And I was just looking at like, I was like,
still at this point you're like, maybe.
I was like, yeah, the bad, but I didn't know if there was, I didn't know if my belly was tightening. I couldn't really feel that going on.
No.
So she put me on this monitor and she went, right, I'm just going to go and get a doctor for you. And then literally within like seconds, a doctor was there, and she said that it was dark, so she had this bloody head torch on. She was like, just take your pants off for me and let me check. So she was finally, like bloody 9 hours later, I was actually getting checked. Because I didn't want to know if I was dilated or not earlier in the day, because I thought if I was only 2 centimetres, it was going to just bring me down.
Yeah.
So she finally checked me for the first time, and she was like, she just was like, yeah, I can see your head, I think you're about 7 centimetres, let's get you on the labour ward. So that's the time when I went to the bloody labour ward. So I'd been dealing with all of that on just the normal maternity ward, which is why I think I didn't, if I was on the labour ward in a room by myself, knowing it was happening, I'd have probably been a lot more vocal. Yeah. But I was just dealing with it, just dealing with it. Because
not knowing what was actually really going on.
Anyway, they wheeled me down to the labour ward, and I think that's when I had my transition of I stopped dilating and my body was ready to push, because I remember I felt this like rush of adrenaline as soon as they put me, whether it was because I knew she was coming, but they put me in that wheelchair and wheeled me down, and I remember shaking. I had a sheet around me and I was shaking, and that's when you get your adrenaline, and that's when you go, I can't do it.
I said, you've protected this baby for 9 months, and all of a sudden your body wants to get it out, so you've gone into a whole,
it's like a shock, isn't it? Protection mode, shock mode, and just loads of adrenaline. Well, adrenaline won't help you get a baby out. So remember, keeping my eyes closed, I was shaking away, and they put me into a room, put me on the bed, and one of the midwives said, oh, you're doing hypnobirthing, and I was like, I wouldn't open my eyes, I was going, yeah. And they were going like, good, that's fine. And I remember they sat me on the bed, they hooked me up to all sorts, because obviously I was only 30, by this point it was classed as Monday, wasn't it? So I was 36 weeks on the dot then, and she was still going to be an early premature baby. So it was hooked up to all sorts, which wasn't the plan. I wasn't meant to be on my back. I wasn't meant to be in the hospital in the first place. But I was just rolling with it.
Yeah, because not everything goes to plan.
No, not everything goes to plan. And I remember like sitting back on that bed, and my whole body just was like, ugh. And it's when they do say like through hypnobirthing that your body just pushes itself, just let your body do it. It does. Like my whole everything, even my mouth was like pushing. I was just like, ugh. And they was like, roll with it, Kristen. If you need to push, you need to push. And I did. That's just what happened. So it took me about an hour before then they said, right, they were gonna have to bring a doctor in, because I think the baby's heart rate was dropping. We were getting far. I think I kept getting her there, and it was going back in for a while. So they had to give permission to give me a episiotomy.
Oh,
yeah. So again, didn't want to open my eyes, so I was just like, yeah, do it. No, because at this point it was like I wasn't in pain of contractions anymore, and it was like it was a little bit, it was like painful, but it was more of like it was a workout getting her out, and I was working out and I was getting her out, like that's what it was.
That's what we said, didn't we, in our last video? Like you have like you wouldn't not train for a marathon, like you have to train for childbirth, because
you have to keep fit, like you can't, it's not easy like pushing a baby out. And I think that's when obviously I had to then get caught, and I think it was a few more pushes and she did then come out, which I was just like, thank God. I was just like, wow. But before she came out, I think I remember them saying to James that they were gonna, because she was early, if she came out and was struggling, he couldn't cut the cord and she'd have to get tucked away and all that. So they did prepare us, and I think as women, I'd watching One Born every minute back in the day, I was prepared for that. I think not obviously taking in what they were saying throughout, but I was thinking, I did hear them say that, and I did hear them say she needs support, she's going to be taken away, is that going to be okay? And for me it was, but James didn't have a clue. We'd not watched One Born every minute. He'd not watched like anything to do with babies, midwives, premature birth. So I remember when she did come out and she was struggling, he didn't have chance to cut the cord. All he seen was that she just got instantly took away and was having help breathing, and he got asked to come and like hold a hand. And I remember him just and I remember him being like, what the hell is going on? But she needed extra support, so she was then took out the room within like 5 minutes. And that's when I was getting stitched up and just thinking, wow, like unreal, like amazing. But obviously I wanted to know if she was okay. But I just think with all my breathing and stuff, I had really, really positive birthing experience, even though she was premature and stayed in hospital for a bit longer. Even afterwards, I think the mindset that I'd got myself in throughout, and knowing that she was okay and I was okay and that I could do it and she could do it, she could get better and stuff. I was just like, it's weird what getting yourself in the right mindset can do. I think they teach you all sorts of different. You've got to ask questions, you've got to make sure that you know what those midwives are doing. But when it comes to it, me and James both said afterwards, there was no chance that we were ever going to say to those midwives, why are you doing that? Like, why
they're trained to do that. That's their job, and that's their profession.
So I am now classed as a high risk, so I would always have to have my births going forward in a hospital. But I would never not recommend a hospital now. Like, I think I was so scared, wasn't I, and nervous of going to birth in a hospital, and I was so pro home birth and being in my natural habitat. I really was, wasn't I?
But that's what you've learned, so that's what you know.
Well, James is the same. He was quite nervous about the home birth, but then he was so pro it, because hospitals like give him the shivers. Like, it's
like me as well. I did start thinking, I think I'll have a home birth, but my boyfriend was like, no, I don't want you to ever do that.
But it doesn't, because you just walk into hospital and you just think like, I know it's horrible, but you think like, oh, death and injuries,
and it smells. It does smell. It has its own smell.
Hospital food smell, like stuff like that. But honestly, it was such a positive, nice experience, and I can't wait to do it again. I can.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Bella twins are both pregnant? One's 37 weeks and one's 36.
Yes, I know.
That's amazing.
That needs to be us.
That does need to be us.
Really does.
I'd love that. It'd
be so great. So that's my positive experience of a premature birth.
Yeah.
It was kind of hectic because I didn't know what was going on.
No.
So
yeah, that's it as well, isn't it? You was a first time mum, so
it
was like the next time round you do it, it's going to be completely different again. So different. Hopefully, because there won't be any complications.
Well, hopefully there won't be any complications, but I now know what a contraction feels like. Yeah. I know that people have worse ones, and I seem like I had just such a good one, but whether it was because I was in a good headspace or whether I just had a really nice birth. Yeah. But I know what contractions feel like. I know what I'll be up to. I know that I will get checked if I am in a bit of pain.
Yeah, but is that not a good thing that you didn't get checked because you didn't know?
No, because looking back, I would have loved to have got checked maybe at that point of Love Island, because I'd probably been at a good centimetre by then. True. And I then could have been comfortable in my own room, and James would have stayed and would not have that.
True.
I would have just I think I would have liked, the only thing that I would change is knowing that, right, this is happening. I think because I was give that information. We're going to put you on steroids. There could be another 2 weeks of it.
2 weeks.
I was just so confused and I didn't know if it was happening. And
Yeah.
I wanted to be that person that records it, takes pictures, writes down notes. I wanted to be that person, but I was just so
wish I would
baffled. I know to what was going on. I just will know how to do it differently next time.
Completely different next time again.
Yeah.
You'll have 2 completely different experiences.
Yeah. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, so thanks for watching. We have a couple more videos planned. We are going away for a little weekend away with our sister and our mum and all the babies. So we'll be filming a little bit of that for you. Again, like always, let us know if you've got any videos you want us to do or if you've got any questions. Go to our Instagram, give us a DM. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.